Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Max24, and it is Tuesday, and it's time for another Tuesday Talks. Before we get into that, please always remember to drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and all that fun stuff us YouTubers tell you guys to do. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Sometimes I upload most on Twitter, sometimes on Facebook, barely ever on Instagram. Follow me on there. And with that, let's talk about this week's topic. So, we got to talk about something that started up last week, and it's a pretty tough topic. Blizzard, last week, banned and revoked the prize money of Blitzchung, a Hearthstone champion. They did this because he made a political statement on his post-win interview or whatever, calling for liberation of Hong Kong. He came on with the gas mask on October 6th, which is a symbol of the Hong Kong protests and stuff. And it was on the official Taiwanese Hearthstone livestream. And he was being interviewed by casters Virtual and Mr. Yi. During the interview, he said, "Liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our age," and the stream quickly cut to commercial, and the footage has been pulled from the internet. And after that, Blizzard banned Blitzchung. On October 8th, a whole 2 days later, Blizzard released an official statement banning Blitzchung, giving him a 12-month ban, taking away his $10,000 prize money. Now, they have since lessened that ban and re-given him the money, but he's still banned. So this raised a lot of questions. There was a huge uproar over this ban that Blizzard put on Blitzchung, saying that Blizzard's against human rights, they care more about money than they do people, freedom of speech, they should be allowed to say what they want, all this stuff was raised, and two senators got involved, Marco Rubio and some other one, I don't remember the top of my head, but they both got involved calling out Blizzard for their decision. There was calls on social media, #boycott Blizzard, people were canceling their Battle.net accounts, their World of Warcraft subscriptions, deleting Battle.net, deleting the Blizzard games off of their PCs. There was staff protests in Blizzard themselves. It's a big ordeal, and it's going into BlizzCon next month, so it's a big problem. So where do I stand on this issue? A lot of YouTubers are taking sides. I mean, most of them are taking the side against Blizzard, saying what Blizzard did was completely against everything, and this is a horrible thing, and they should not have done this, and blah 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 blah, all this stuff, and that Blizzard's just pathetic in this. There's not many people taking the side of Blizzard. Nobody's really saying that Blizzard was completely in the right or anything. I'm not going to take Blizzard's side. I'm not going to take the protesters' side. I'm gonna take the middle ground. I'm gonna present both parties' points. They both got great points, all right? So it's hard to pick a side for me, but I'm not gonna be the one pointing blame. I'm not gonna point blame to people. I'm gonna let you decide who's to blame. I'm gonna present the facts on both sides, and then you can decide, because I'm not picking a side here, okay? I'm staying in the middle ground. So we'll first look at the Blizzard perspective. So one of the biggest gaming revenue is today is the Chinese market. Okay, China's filled with people. It's got one of the biggest populations in the world. They buy the most video games. The most revenue comes from China. The whole reason StarCraft and stuff are still alive is because of China. So if Blizzard didn't do something because of this, because this whole Hong Kong issue, China and Hong Kong have been at odds for a long time, and recently there's been a big protest around. There was a law that was going to be passed that was going to allow China to extradite citizens from Hong Kong, and then there's also the whole social point. There's a lot going on with the Hong Kong-China relationship, so I'm not going to get into all that. Okay, you can do some research. I mean, the bare minimum is Hong Kong and China have been at odds for a while, and there have been protests going on to liberate Hong Kong, and of course, China, being the government that they are, they don't like people being outspoken about them, and it's not been good. So if Blizzard did not do something in retaliation, there would have been that chance that they could have lost the Chinese market, okay? China has no problem kicking people out, all right? They have no problem. They will say, goodbye company, we don't need your crap. They do that all the time. They don't have a problem with that. And they could have kicked Blizzard out real quick. Blizzard would have lost that source of income. Now, again, yeah, that means that they care more about money than human rights, I guess. That's what you could say. But really, again, a game company's not going to make games if they're not making money. Technically, China only makes up 12% of their income, but China is the biggest game revenue currently. So of course that would grow. Okay, Blizzard would be able to make more money from the Chinese market. And if they did not do something to Blitzchung after he called out for liberation of Hong Kong, they would have lost that market, which would have sucked for them. Again, a game company is not going to make games if they're not making money. So from that perspective, I understand. From a business perspective, I understand if you want to keep hold of the Chinese market, you got to do something. As well as Blitzchung knew full well that he was breaking the rules, okay? It is officially stated in the Hearthstone rules that engaging in any act that, in Blizzard's sole discretion, brings you into public disrepute, offends a portion or a group of the public, or otherwise damages Blizzard's image will result in removal from Grandmaster and reduction of the player's prize total to $0, in addition to other remedies which may be provided for under the handbook and Blizzard's website terms. So there's a rule in there. That rule is saying, if you make statements like this, if it damages the reputation of Blizzard, if it just makes statements and makes groups mad, they are within their right to pull money from you. Okay, they are within their right to ban you. That is a rule stated that Blitzchung signed on to listen to that rule the minute he competed in Hearthstone Grandmasters. All right, he knew full well he was going to get banned. He's even said he knew full well. He went in there knowing that he knew that he was going to get banned. He does not regret it one bit. He respects their decision and he does not regret it. He knew full well. So from that perspective, if you know you're going to get banned and you still do it, then you are the one at fault here because you went in there knowing full well. Again, that is a rule that he signed on for. And people are calling, being like, that goes against freedom of speech. Okay, he should be allowed to make political statements. I've talked to a lawyer and he said that, yeah, freedom of speech is an agreement between you and the government. Okay, that means the government cannot infringe on your right to speak. And that is a US thing. Okay, China does not have that. Okay, China's a completely different story. Our constitution does not cover the Chinese society. And that agreement says that, yeah, the U.S. cannot infringe on your right to say. You can say whatever you want. Whatever you want. The U.S. cannot infringe. But private parties can, okay? You don't have the same agreement with the private parties as you do with the government. The minute Blitzchung signed on to be part of the Hearthstone Grandmasters, he agreed to these rules that Blizzard had set up, and Blizzard is legally allowed to set up these rules. They can set up as many rules as they want. It's their private industry, their medium. They have the choice to have you follow what rules they want you to follow. It is complete within their right. It does not violate freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is with the government, not with private parties. So they are within their right to have these rules, and Blitzchung knew they had these rules. So he went in knowing full well he would violate the rules. Okay? And I do believe if Blitzchung or somebody came on and called out Trump, saying that they support Trump, saying that they support walls, saying that they support people being kicked out of the country, saying stuff like that, and they got banned and their prize money revoked, I do not see that there would be this much of a reaction. Because the whole, Trump stuff, the whole current U.S. political climate, the internet. Now, I'm not saying the Western market, okay? The vast majority of the Western market do not really care about this Blitzchung thing, okay? They're going to continue playing World of Warcraft. They don't care, okay? They're going to continue playing their games. It's the internet, the people who are actively on the internet that care. And the internet's standpoint on this issue is that Hong Kong needs to be liberated. That is the majority standpoint of the loudest people on the internet. The majority standpoint of the loudest people on the internet is also that Trump and his policies are bad. So if somebody came on to a Grandmaster tournament and called out saying they support Trump, oh my God, let's go 2020, keep America great. If they said that and they got banned and their prize money revoked, I fully believe, you cannot tell me otherwise, that people would be completely fine with it. Nobody would be talking about it. They'd just be like, okay, cool, yeah, good job, Blizzard. You went against the rules. And anybody who came out saying no, they shouldn't have banned him, would be like, the internet would be like, no, that guy went against the rules, okay? He made a political statement. But since it's about Hong Kong and Blitzchung, and the situation now that the vast majority of the internet, of the loud people on the internet, not just the internet, but the loud people on the internet, the vast majority of the loud people on the internet believe that Hong Kong should be liberated, that's why it's a problem. Okay? It's because the thing Blitzchung was talking about agrees with them, aligns politically with the loud people. And so it being shunned, it being quieted, a lot of people on the internet don't like that. If it did not agree with them politically, a lot of people would be completely fine. They'd be completely fine with it. That's fully what I believe. So Blizzard was in a tough spot, okay? Because this is a big issue, and it's a polarizing issue. Okay, the Western market, a lot of people on the internet in the West, they are on Hong Kong's side. Okay, the people in the Chinese market, we don't know. Okay, most of the outrage has been from the Western market. You don't really hear much from that side of the world. You hear stuff from this side of the world. Now, I said I was going to talk about both sides. So Blizzard, I believe, Blizzard was completely in the right to ban him. They were completely in the right to silence him, because freedom of speech is with the government in you, not with private entities in you. Okay, they are completely within the right to do what they do. Now, from the other standpoint, I understand, okay, it's a big issue. Freedom of speech, all right? Yes, it's a big issue, and companies should allow political statements and stuff. Look at the Oscars, look at Game Awards, look at that. They make political statements all the time. So, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't allow that. I understand that, okay? I understand it might be against freedom of speech, but again, that's an agreement between the government and you, not between private entities. I understand that it's a human rights issue more, okay? And that's okay, that needs to be dealt with. And Blizzard silencing him may seem like it goes against freedom of speech. And Blizzard was not fully clear right away why they banned the guy. Okay, they were not fully clear. And they also fired the 2 casters. Now, I do not believe Blizzard should have fired the 2 casters, okay? That should not have been a thing. The casters should have been allowed to stay on. It was Blitzchung's doing. It was not the casters doing. I understand that, okay? I understand where the other side's coming from, where the people who are calling for the boycott of Blizzard are coming from. Because, yes, it's a shitty situation. Blizzard was stuck in a shitty situation, all right? We are all here in the Western market. We see it differently. So Blizzard could have either pissed off the Chinese government and got kicked out of China by not silencing him, or they could have silenced him and pissed off the Western market, but not get kicked out. That's the thing. That's the thing you got to realize. They would have been kicked out of the Chinese market. They would not have been kicked out of our market. We wouldn't do that. We can't do that. That's not a thing. So I understand. It's a stressful situation, and it goes against. I mean, some of Blizzard's sayings are think globally and every voice matters, okay? And yes, banning Blitzchung and all this stuff is not thinking globally and not allowing every voice to matter. But it's going against one of the Hearthstone rules that Blitzchung chimed onto. So I understand. Both sides do have their points. I believe that. And then the Chinese Blizzard accounts posted to China itself, to the Chinese government, that kind of pissed off some people. And I don't know if I'm just not understanding it fully, but I don't really understand why it's pissing so many people off. So it read like this. Of course, it was in all Chinese. So the translation was, "We are very angered and disappointed at what happened at the event and do not condone it in any way. We also highly object to spreading of personal political beliefs in this manner. Effective immediately, we banned the contestant from events and terminated work with the broadcasters. We will always respect and defend the pride of our country." So people instantly jumped onto that statement, being like, look, see, Blizzard cares about China more than anything else, okay? They are run by China. They are China's puppet. I don't see that from this, okay? This is a tweet from the Chinese Blizzard accounts. It's not for the Western market. It's not tweeted at the United States, at Europe. It's tweeted at China. The wording here is to make sure that the Chinese government still likes them. You gotta be careful with the Chinese government. They will kick you out. They will do whatever. Their Blizzard employees could be at risk, okay? Working with China is like walking on glass, okay? It's dangerous. It could cut you. So this statement is supposed to appease the Chinese government, because if they went against the Chinese government, if they didn't say some of this stuff, they might be in danger, okay? When they say, "We will always respect and defend the pride of our country," they're not saying Blizzard's Chinese. No, the Chinese portion of Blizzard is saying they will respect and defend the pride of China. because that is what they're supposed to do. Okay, if they want to keep working in China, they got to say that. They got to be like, we'll represent China, because China, if a Chinese company does something wrong, it'll look bad on China, and China does not like being looked bad on. Okay, then China will get mad at that company, kick them out, or put them in danger or stuff. That's the reality of the situation. So them saying they will always respect and defend the pride of our country is not saying they're owned by China. No, not at all. People are saying, look, they're Chinese. Look at that. No, that's not what they're saying. They're just telling China something different because they're trying to appease China. They're trying to keep China on their side so they don't get in trouble, so they don't get kicked out for Blitzchung's remarks. That's the situation here. Okay? It's that they're going to tell the Western market something different from the Chinese market, telling us that they're looking into it, telling us that they're going to pull back a little bit on the punishment is to appease us. Telling China that they'll defend and respect the pride of our country is just trying to respect and appease China. They have to appease both China and they have to appease us, okay? That is the situation they are stuck in. Also saying we are very angry or disappointed at what happened and do not condone it in any way. They're not saying they don't condone the message. They're being a little tricky with their words if you pay attention. They're saying they do not condone expressing political beliefs, okay? Which is spelt out in the Hearthstone rules, that they do not allow political beliefs. They do not allow that. And again, that does not go against freedom of speech, because freedom of speech is an agreement with the government and you, not with private entities and you. So this whole situation is just, it's a really shitty situation, I'm going to be honest, okay? Blitzchung knew full well that he was going to get banned, and I fully believe that he knew full well that there was going to be outrage, okay? There's protests at Blizzard, hashtag boycott Blizzard. Shit's going down. Now, they pulled back on the punishment a little bit, because that was another problem, the severity of the punishment, 12 months and taking away all the money. They pulled back a little bit on that, but he's still punished, which I believe the punishment is fine, okay? Some people are against it and say he should not be punished. But again, Hearthstone Grandmasters, one of the rules is you cannot make political beliefs. You cannot make political statements. You cannot do that, okay? That's not allowed. You agreed to that the minute you signed on to play in the Hearthstone match. So them being like, you're banned, that's completely within their rights. And if they didn't do that, where do they draw the line? Because then the next people's going to make a statement, then the next, and the next, and the next, and then suddenly the rule doesn't make sense and you get rid of it. They had to do something. They have to respect the rules that they set up for Grandmasters. Not respecting them, not banning him, would have seemed weak on their part and would have been like, oh my god, he broke a rule. But it's not, what's the point? He broke, there would have been situations, okay? There would have been a situation with that because he would have gotten away with breaking a rule. And Blitzchung knew full well that he was breaking a rule, okay? He knew. He had to read those rules when he signed on. He knew he was breaking a rule. So he knew he was going to get banned, okay? He knew full well he was going to get banned. And Blizzard has to appease both China and America and Europe and just the Western market and the Eastern market. They have to appease both of them. We're stuck in a shitty situation because of Blitzchung, okay? Them saying that they're going to respect and defend the pride of their country is them trying to appease China. Them saying they're going to look into the situation and pull back a little bit is them trying to appease us. They have to appease both sides. Now, I understand from the side of the boycotters that, yes, it's a human rights issue. Yes, they're not going along with what they believe, with their think globally and every voice matters. Yes, China is just shitty. Yes, it seems like Blizzard cares more about money than they do people. But they're a company, so of course they care about money. China makes up the biggest revenue for video games. It makes up 12% of Blizzard, and they want that to grow. Okay, if you want to make money in the industry, you have to have China on your side. And not banning him, not saying they don't condone it, would make China kick them out. China takes no prisoners. China's not like America. In China, you say something against the government, you're out. You show support against someone, you show support for someone who speaks bad about the government, you're out. You're in danger. They will silence you. If Blizzard did not say something, If Blizzard did not ban him, the Chinese Blizzard departments could have been in trouble. They really could have. And that would not have been good. They would have been put in danger, and Blizzard would have been in a worse spot. And I fully believe that if the guy said something about Trump, like he supported him or supporting kicking everybody out of the country or stuff, and he got silenced, nobody would care. People would just move on with their life. Nobody would care. And nobody, I'm just going to leave you guys with this too. Blizzard's not the only company doing this, okay? Look at Riot Games. Riot Games is trying actively not to have a Blitzchung moment, okay? They are silencing people, okay? Straight up, they're silencing people. But nobody's talking about that. Every video game company, and it's got to deal with China, okay? That is the reality of the situation. When the revenue grows in that market, when that's one of the leading revenue markets, every company has to appease them. I think really any company in Blizzard's situation would have done the exact same thing. They would have. Now Epic Games is being like, we wouldn't silence people, political beliefs. Nobody cares Epic Games, okay? Nobody freaking cares, because Epic, you're just a bad company, okay? You can say that, but you're a bad company. Yeah, you are. So yeah, there's the facts. Blizzard has to appease both markets. It was in the Hearthstone Grandmaster's rules that Blitzchung could not say anything, any political statement. It was in the rules, right there, in plain lettering. Blizzard tweeted in the Chinese Twitter accounts, not the U.S. ones, not the Western market ones, the Chinese ones, saying they'll defend the pride of their country, because that's what they have to say. They have to. It's everyone for China. That's in China. That's what everyone's got to be working to defend and promote China. That's the rules, okay? It's everyone's together in China. It's communism. And I understand the other side. And the two casters should never have been fired. That's a no-go. Blizzard did not handle the situation well. They're not really following their think globally and every voice matters. I understand that. And it's a human rights issue. Yes. But also Blizzard was in a tough spot. And it's against the rules. And they got to appease both sides. And they could have put the Chinese part of their company in danger if they didn't do anything. But yeah, that is my opinion on the Blizzard situation. I don't know if you could follow it, but if you could, then cool. Yeah, if you like this video, please subscribe, comment, tell me what you think about the Blizzard situation. I'll try to reply to all of them. If you're just trying to fight in the comments, if you're like, you're wrong, I'm not going to reply to that. Okay, that might even be deleted, because I'm not here to fight. I'm just here to present what I believe. And that's, if you don't like it, then go somewhere else. But this is what I believe about the situation. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I upload most on Twitter, sometimes on Facebook, barely ever on Instagram. Follow me on there. Try to upload every day of the week too on here. And yeah, with that, I hope to see you in the next video.